Okay, today we are looking at targeting competing segments. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to go back to where we left off last week. Remember, there's this basic idea of why, when we want to figure out anything or answer any marketing question, it starts off, why don't they buy? Why do they buy? Then typically, who are they? And then the 4 Ps. And as long as we do things in that order, we'll have a place to start for any question anybody ever asks us. Okay. Remember, here's where we left off last week. You had that wonderful tasting stuff, that Vegemite. Again, if you were bold and brave and sassy and tasted it, raise your hand. All right. Very good. Very good. Well, the question is there a market in the U.S. for Vegemite? And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using a basic ladder to try to decide what could potentially be some target markets. Because we don't want to just do the idiotic thing and say, well, target market of people under the age of 30 who are women and who have an income above this. No, we don't want to do that because that's not going to give us any insights about really how to target that people or really what's meaningful to them. We want to get a lot deeper than that, and that's what we can use for laddering. Continue. Thank you. Well, here's a little recap. We're going to look at what some of the advantages are to Vegemite. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take some ladders of people who actually like it, because those are the fanatics who have some sort of connection that we can try to figure out how to magnify in other people. So the history of Vegemite is that, again, it's an yeast extract. It's really big in Australia. It's made from leftover brewer's yeast, that stuff that's left in the bottom of big brewing vats. They add some spices and vegetable stuff to it. It's dark reddish brown, it's really pretty black, and it's one of the richest sources of vitamin B. An interesting thing about vitamin B complex is that if you're a person who has a problem at night with snacking, over-snacking, you always have cravings for carbohydrates at nighttime. In some cases, simply having B complex vitamins can take the edge off of that craving. Okay, the stuff's like peanut butter. It's very salty. It's high in nutrients. It gained popularity in World War I because it made that nasty bread that they gave the Anzac forces helped it taste better. Australian children are brought up on it from the time they're babies, and they just love this, and they get whacked out about it. For a long time, I had a very close friend who was Australian, and she indeed did carry Vegemite with her all the time. High penetration, 22 million jars of Vegemite are manufactured. 30 are sold for every one that's exported. That's our job, to figure out whether we can export them. So here's a sample of a ladder. Now, there were a couple different ladders. We had a really great ladder from, who's it? Catherine, where are you at, Catherine? Catherine, are you here? Yes. Your name's Catherine, isn't it? Yeah, thank you, yeah. So we had Catherine's ladder, and, oh, no. It was you did the ladder, wasn't it? Yeah. Oh, sorry about that. I'm sorry. You just forced it upon everybody, right? Serving ends, must eat, must eat. Well, here's a sample of a ladder, and this is one that was done a while back. It's not unlike yours, but with this person we had a lot more time to talk to him. So here's what we're going to look at. What we're going to do is I'm going to kind of go over this ladder, and what we're going to do is we're going to break into groups. So we're going to figure out, we're going to answer 3 questions. The question is, what would you and your buddy find as a really wise, you think smart target market that we're going to aim this at? Okay. Then you're going to answer 2 other questions. First of all, how big do you estimate the size of that market is here in the United States? Okay. And then third would be, on a scale of 1 to 10, how easy do you think it would be to convince somebody? So let's say we go through this market, we go through this, and we say, you know, I think one group that would be really good for this would be stressed out college kids, stressed out college students. Well, great, that's a market. You say, well, how big would that market be? You might say, I don't know, 225 million people in the Nation, the number of people college age would be 20 million, 25% of all people go to college, 5 million. Okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, how easy would it be to convince a college student to eat Vegemite? You might go, oh, probably a 4. So that's going to be your task. But I'm going to give you the entire ladder, and you're going to see if you can come up with insightful target markets. And after we do that, what we're going to do is we're going to aggregate it up and see if there's enough of a market in the U.S. to merit exporting Vegemite in a big, bad way. So here's the ladder of one person. Now, typically what we would do is we'd get ladders, maybe 20 people or 30 people or 40 people, and put them all together. But I'm going to show you what we can do with just one ladder. Now, here's a better version of it. Joel put this together so that it would be readable. We're going to start with Vegemite. Why do you like Vegemite? This person goes, I love the taste. What do you love about it? Well, it's different. What else do you love about the taste? It gives me a kick. Well, what do you mean by a kick? Well, it's exciting. It's convenient. What do you mean convenient? Well, I'm really, really an impatient person. What's important about that? Well, I don't like to cook. Okay, fair enough. What else do you mean when you say it gives you a kick? Why is that important to you? Well, it's important to me because it's exotic. What do you mean by exotic? Well, it's unique. Okay. What else do you like about being exotic? Well, it's fun. Okay, why is that important to you? Well, it's just exotic. Why else do you like it? Because it's exotic. It's salty. It's unusual. Why is it important that something be unusual? What do you like about being unusual? Well, it's got spices and stuff. Well, why is spices important to you? Well, it slows me down when I eat. You know, I don't just race through it. Why is it important that you get slowed down? It shows self-discipline. If I slow down, it slows me down. I won't spoil my dinner. Why is it important not to spoil your dinner? It shows I have some sort of self-control and some self-organization. I'm not just out there like, you know, the random dog, just like eating until I blow up. Okay, why else is it important that you don't spoil your dinner? Well, it shows self-discipline. Why is that important? Well, it's part of my life's mission to actually lead a somewhat disciplined life. Why else is self-discipline important to you? It shows a sense of purpose. Again, I'm just not out wandering around. Any other reason that self-discipline is important? Shows self-discipline. He's a very, very repetitive guy. So it gives you some idea of what's going on. Now, again, taste. He likes taste because it gives him a kick. It's exotic. He also likes taste because it's different and exciting. Why do you like the kick? Well, it's convenient. He's impatient. So he doesn't like to cook. What else? Well, it's exotic. What's unusual? Why is that important? Well, it shows self-discipline. It slows me down. It doesn't spoil dinner. Who cares if it doesn't spoil dinner? Well, again, it shows self-discipline. It's part of my life mission. It's sense of purpose shows self-discipline. God, he just kept saying that over and over and over again. Okay. So again, what I want you to do is get with one other person, come up with a very specific market you want to sell this to. Estimate how big that market is in the United States. And whenever you do something like that, this isn't perfectly accurate, but we're ballparking things. There's about 250 million people in the U.S. Okay. Granted, there's more than that, but you know, if you kind of say, well, really, I think there's 311 million. It's really hard to divide things by 311. It's really easy to divide it by 250. So for the purposes of just brainstorming, you can use 250. So there's 250 million people in the United States. Think, how big do you think your target market is? Then on a scale of 1 to 10, how easy do you think it would convince the people in that target market to buy this? And if you're coming up like with a 1, 2, 3, or 4, it's probably a bad target market. Okay?